Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab and today's video, which is going to be taking a deep dive into the brand new release by Natasha Denona. These are the Chromium Liquid Eyeshadows, and they are liquid eyeshadows that are multi-chromes. I purchased the whole line from Sephora, and even though this is only going to be a first impression video, I'm going to really take a deep dive. I'm going to swatch all 5 shades on my eyes. I'm going to blend eyeshadow over them. I'm going to blend them out. I'm going to apply them as liner. I'm going to play around with them in such a way to kind of learn and get a feel for how to work with the shadows. Hopefully you're going to find that helpful, as well as seeing the eye swatches directly on the eye. Before we get into that, if you're new here, I'm Yori. Thank you for joining me for today's video. I hope you're going to enjoy this one and consider subscribing to my channel for more reviews and beauty content like this. I'd also like to take a minute to thank my first 5 commenters on my previous video. Thank you so much for sharing the lab love. I really appreciate your support and I love chatting makeup with you. If I happen to know the commenters have a YouTube channel, I'll indicate their names with the YouTube logo and link them in the description box down below. Now, without any further delay, let's get into these shadows. We have a guest here today. My dog Ricky is sleeping back there in the background. He's my little buddy, keeps me company while I do my makeup, and so yeah, he's right there. I also am wearing a new microphone for this video. When I moved into this place, I thought I was going to struggle with the lighting, and the lighting has actually been pretty good, but it's been the microphone that's been giving me trouble, so we're trying something new. Let me know what you think. So getting into the eyeshadows, this is the most recent launch for Natasha Denona, and as I mentioned, they're called the Chromium Liquid Eyeshadows. They come in 5 shades. I did pick up the whole line. They retail for $28 per shade. You can get them on natashadenona.com, sephora.com, or beautylish.com. I'm going to leave them all linked down below in case you want to check any of them out for yourself. So let's go ahead and go through the shades one by one. The first shade is called Nude. This one is supposed to be gold, yellow, red, and pink metallic. Dragonfly is going to be purple, gold, and orange metallic. Ultraviolet is going to be violet, purple, and green metallic. Scarab, which is one of the shades that you're seeing on my eyes right now, is a gold, yellow, and blue metallic. And Dogbane, which is the second shadow I'm wearing today, is a red, orange, and gold metallic. If you're familiar with the Stila Glitter and Glows, you probably were thinking that these shadows were going to be somewhat similar to those, except these were going to be multi-chromes. And I have to say that they have some similarities, but the Natasha Denona shadows are very unique in their style. Now, they are more expensive than the Stila shadows, but they do include multi-chrome pigments, which are a little bit more pricey. You're also receiving less product in there. I'm going to go through all that in the try-on portion of the video. Like I said, I'm going to swatch, blend, draw on, try to remove. You're going to see the whole 9 on how the shadows perform, and I hope that's going to help you make a decision if this is something that you wanted to add to your collection. Let's go ahead and skip to that part of the video so you can take a look and learn with me. I'm going to swatch all of these shadows on my eyes, but I have a couple of variety of brushes to work with because I want to get an idea of how they blend out or if they diffuse out a little bit. I'm not going to go in any particular order. The first shade I'm going to work with is Nude. Now, these are going to be compared to the Stila Magnificent Metals. I want to compare the size of the packaging so you can see the Stila is much bigger. The Stila, I believe they retail for about $25. The Natasha Denona are $28 a piece. The Stila, looking at the packaging, comes with 4.5 milliliters, and the Natasha Denona would come with 2.5 milliliters. I'm not saying these are the exact same product, but they are being compared, and so I just wanted to give you a comparison for how much you're going to get in terms of product. So we have a square packaging, very, very beautiful. And the applicator is going to be a doe foot. We're starting out with the shade Nude, which is good because I know a lot of people were interested in this shade. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply it to my eyelid. I don't have anything else on my eye right now. And this is a beautiful shade. I'm seeing a pink with a slight gold shift to this one. And I'm bringing it up just a little bit, kind of in a winged out look. I'm being able to draw it out really easily, actually. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, so I'm going to try to give you a couple of angles so you can see the shift. But looking at it, I see mostly pink to gold with a little bit of green. Now, before this sets down too quickly, let me try one of these brushes and see what would happen. So on the edges, I'm kind of just diffusing out. So the product dries very quickly. It feels really lightweight on my lid, but yes, it definitely dries out very quickly. You are able to slightly diffuse out the edges, but you might want to use like a little bit of a powder shadow along the edges if you want to create a clean gradient. It is diffusing a little bit, but just so you know, you're you're not going to have a lot of wiggle room in terms of time to apply it in a different format. So I can blend out the edges in a way that I would feel comfortable using just the single product on my eye. It is a really, really beautiful shade. Really beautiful. I'll let it sit there a little bit and see how it does in terms of creasing. I have really crepey and rather oily eyelids, so we're gonna see how that holds up. I think on camera the pink shift is picking up the strongest, but it definitely has like a bronzy, oh, it's just lovely. Let's move on to the shade Dog Bane. Okay, so this one in the packaging looks a little bit blue, red, and green, but we'll see when it's applied to the eye. Now, if you wanted to create more graphic looks, you can definitely apply these to the back of your hand. Okay, so right off the bat with this one, I'm seeing a lot more red, a deeper copper, and the flip on this one is definitely more on the green side. They are completely smooth. I'm not feeling any grit or anything like that. My eyelids do not feel like they're starting to crackle as the other one is settling in. I'm hoping that it's translating on camera that you do have a darker shade with Dog Bane. They both look a little bit on the pink family, but this one definitely has more bronze. Now again, like I did with the other one, I'm just gonna try to blend it out a little bit and see how that looks like. I think with the next swatch, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to apply it with a synthetic brush just to see what kind of shape I get. But one of the claims of this product is that you can have just a single eyeshadow and create a full look. And based on the way that the edges of these diffuse, I would definitely agree with that. The thing that impresses me the most is really how lightweight they feel on my lid. I don't feel like my lids are heavy as if I have a lot of product there at all. Feels a little cold when I apply it, but other than that, I'm so far very impressed. So this one, which is called Dog Bane, comparing it to Infranude, Dog Bane has more red in it and more of a copper flip, and there is definitely some green in there as well, depending on how you move your eye around. Very pretty shade. So we have Infranude and Dog Bane. I'm getting really excited, guys. I wasn't sure what to expect with these, but so far I'm really impressed. Both of these shades are very wearable, absolutely very wearable. This one, of course, is a little bit darker. I'll give you my recommendation for the shades as soon as I get them all on my eyes. So let me go ahead and wipe these off. I'm just using a makeup remover wipe to get them off, and then I'm drying my lid really cleanly with a tissue as well so that I don't have any makeup remover. As I'm taking it off, I am spreading a little bit of shimmer around, but there is absolutely no grit. So I'm thinking that's why she's saying that these products are very eye safe, that you won't have considerably larger particles that may cause any kind of eye injury. It feels completely smooth coming off as if it were just a regular eyeshadow. Let's work with Dragonfly next, and I have a Sigma E56, which is kind of like a flat concealer type brush. This one isn't as smooth as some others, but I think it'll serve just fine. I'm not trying to create a whole look right now. I'm just testing out the product and seeing kind of how it works. So I think that this time when I was watching her video, I saw that she was creating a very beautiful graphic liner kind of look, and that really sold me on the product itself. So I applied just a little bit on my brush, and I'm going to apply it just more in a graphic localized area. So I'm using it kind of like a liner, and I'm gonna smoke it out, like wing it out like that. Look at that. That's really pretty. Now taking it in like that, I actually had enough playtime to create that shape. And again, I'm not specifically using a brush that I would always use to create a wing shape. I'm just kind of getting a feel for the product so I know what kind of look I'm going to create when I actually apply them. So I have some more on my brush, and she had kind of like a cut crease situation on one of the models. Okay, so this brush is definitely a little bit thick for that. I would definitely use a thinner brush, but let's just get an idea. Maybe I can bring it down here. Yeah, look at that. This one has a lot of pink in it, at least from what I can see right this second. I would leave it like this and then maybe put a gold right on the inner corner. How cool would that be? You know, the crazy thing is that when I go to do this on purpose, I'm gonna fail. Just watch. Wow, that is awesome. Okay, anyway, I do want you to see the color. So again, this is the shade Dragonfly. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it all over the lid just so that we can see the color. With this one, I'm definitely seeing pink, and the strongest shift that I'm seeing is like a mandarin kind of gold color. So a little bit pink to orange. And I'm just filling it in directly with the applicator. Oh my goodness, this one is super, super metallic. I don't know if the camera is gonna do it justice, but it definitely has a tangerine flip. I absolutely love it, it's beautiful. Let's let this one sit just like that, and we'll play with another one. The next one is Ultraviolet. My friend Jessica was really excited about this one, and I don't blame her. It's absolutely beautiful. So this one looks like it's gonna be purple and green, very Joker-esque. Which I actually really like that color combination. Okay, so this one definitely has purple when you apply. Oh, beautiful color. And again, I'm just kind of drawing it on. I'm really not being super careful right now. I also didn't bring it as far up, but you can definitely see the color. And I'm just gonna turn my eyes a little bit so that you can see. We've got Ultraviolet and Dragonfly on this side. Oh my goodness. I'm actually catching a look in the mirror that's over here on my side, and I can definitely see the flip. Now I'm gonna let them sit for just a little bit. I think I applied a slightly heavier application, and then I'm just gonna put my finger on it to see how it's gonna stay, like if it's gonna be fixed in position. So I'm gonna give it a little while to dry. One thing is I started blinking right away before I let it dry, and I'm not seeing any creasing whatsoever. Ordinarily, when I'm working with liquid shadows, I kind of have to leave my eyes downcast a little bit so that the product will dry, but I'm not having to do that right now. I'm super, super impressed. So I'm just gonna try to dry it off a little bit. Again, it just feels cold on the lid, not heavy at all. It's kind of cold in my room anyways. I am so glad that I grabbed all of the shades right away. This is just one of those products where I couldn't pick a shade, and I was curious to try them all out. I'm starting to be a lot more conscientious about what I buy for my channel or just for myself in general, and I am so glad I got these. Wow. Well, it's been like a minute or two, so let's give it a feel. Okay, it still feels slightly wet. I'm getting a little bit of transfer to my finger, just tapping it out like this. I don't feel that it's decreasing in intensity. It's a little bit damp still. It's transferring to my finger. Now this was the second one that I applied. Yeah, this one still feels a little bit tacky as well, and it has transferred to my finger. Let me see if I can show in the mirror the color flip. Please excuse my dirty mirror, but you can see the color flip in the mirror. I learned this from the Beauty News girls. You could see the purple to green on my finger, and I can definitely pick it up on the mirror as well. It's just the kind of product that has to be seen to be truly appreciated. Let me take a clean finger and kind of touch this one. So again, it doesn't feel crusty in any kind of way. It just feels like my eyelid. A slight amount is transferring, but very, very minimal. You can barely see anything. See, like before I had a lot more. Let me try to diffuse this one out as well, just to see if I can do it after the fact. So yeah, after it's been sitting there for quite a while, it gives you a very sharp line. Like I'm actually going pretty roughly across the tail end here. I'm not getting fallout. I'm being pretty rough. Yeah, I'm not getting any fallout, and it's not cracking in any kind of way. It does seem to maybe begin to flake off a tiny bit, but who would do this to their eye once they have a beautiful product on their eyelid? I'm just doing it to try to get a feel for how they work and understanding them so that I can create an eye look. Let's go ahead and do the last one. So I'm gonna erase this one. I'm actually feeling comfortable enough that I feel that I would feel confident in doing my face makeup first and then going in with these. But because I'm kind of playing with them today, I'm still going to do my eyes first. And I think I am gonna try to do a graphic liner kind of look, just because since you got a chance to see them applied all over the lid, so you can get a feel for the color and everything. So the last shade is called Scarab. I'm going to apply it on my left eye because it's a lot less watery and I still have to clean it off well so I can do my actual makeup look. So this one looks like gold to green. Definitely. It has a lot of tangerine to it. Oh my gosh, I think this is the one I want to wear. Well, I've been doing green looks, I've been doing purple looks, I did a pink look, I don't know. Oh, this color. This color is gorgeous. It's like a yellow to green. Those were my high school colors actually. Wow. I think this one is picking up on camera really well. I'm gonna let this one dry a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try to see what it's like if I apply shadow over it, like if I were to do this and then want to deepen out the outer V. So I'm gonna give it a minute or two to dry up. Again, I started blinking immediately. I feel it's very easy to work with, a lot easier than you may have originally thought. At least definitely a lot easier than I originally thought it was going to be. I like working with the Stila glitters as well, but I'm more careful with those, I guess because they do have glitter and they can cause fallout and they're a little bit thicker so they can crease in my crepey eyelids. And these are not like that at all. They are like liquid metal and yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm using a little sample of a lip maester I got with my purchase. You know how you enter those little codes? Yeah, they gave me shade number. I don't think I have this one. It is 501. Take a look at it while I have the carton here in front of me. So it's a pretty kind of rosy pink color. I was gonna buy them from Beautylish, but when I went to check out, it was saying like it was back ordered and it was gonna ship out on August 27th. And I was like, I need these now. So I went ahead and I picked them up from Sephora. They may have changed that from their website. It may have just been, I don't know. But yeah, I'll definitely link them down below if you want to check them out. Nice thing about Beautylish is their payment plan in case you can't decide, like I couldn't decide. So just to get a feel how shadows layer over it, I'm gonna try this Violet Voss. It's the Essentials 2 palette. I got this one in my most recent BoxyCharm. I don't think that video is up yet, but I will be sharing it soon. So be sure you're subscribed if you want to see what else I got. So I'm going in with this shade, which is just called Chocolate Brown. I'm using it because it's the deepest shade in this specific palette. I just had it kind of close to me and handy. So I'm applying it on the outer part of my eye here. And I do feel that it is packing on over the metallic shadow really easily. So you can definitely apply the Natasha Denona shadow, then go over it with your regular eyeshadows and kind of build the look outward. You can definitely do that. Yeah, you can see how it's definitely deepening up. Now I'm going to take a fluffier kind of brush and I'm going to go in this shade Clay right here, which is like a transition shade, and I'm going to apply it over the top just to see. So I would probably use a smaller brush for this because I'm kind of hiding the metallic look. This one is a pretty big brush for my eye shape, but I'm also not seeing it very well because this shade is a perfect transition for me. Let's take a little bit of that chocolate brown as well, just because it's a little darker, and I'll go over the edge here, just on the outer part. Actually, this is not a bad eye look, is it? Not bad at all. I would just put a little bit deeper brown. I need to remember that I'm not doing my eye makeup right now, but I get carried away once I start playing. Let's see, we could also do like an inner corner. I'm gonna take that rose gold shade just because it's the lightest one in this palette. And I'm picking it up on a little pencil brush and putting it right on the inner corner. First impression, full disclosure here, but honestly, I kind of love these. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. I'm very excited. Products like this make me feel so creative and they make me have so much fun with makeup. So I hope you found this portion of the video helpful. I'm going to wipe my face, clean it off as well as I can, and then I'll come back to do an actual eye look. I think I want to go with that graphic liner look just because it's something different, right? I don't do that on my channel a lot. So you saw the colors on the lid, you saw what they look like, you see them with regular shadows. Let's see. Touching it, completely dry to the touch. Got a little bit of transfer, just a tiny bit, probably where I had slightly thicker layers of the color. I'll be right back. One thing I didn't try was applying the shades over powder shadows, and so that's what we're going to do now for my official look. The real reason, besides testing the shades, is that I have very veiny eyelids. They're a little bit dark. They're also red since I was wiping off makeup on and off repeatedly, so I want to kind of blank out my eyelids so that the graphic liner really stands out. This palette is going to do just fine for what I want to create, and so I'm going to go in with that beige shade pretty much all over the lid, and I might add a little depth with the clay shade. So basically I'm just setting my eyeshadow base, so to speak, but this does help blank out any discoloration, which, you know, when you put on a full face of makeup and then your eyelids look veiny and things like that, it can look a little bit unfinished. So that's why I'm going ahead and doing this process. It'll also help us see how the shades layer over powder, of course. So that was the shade beige, and I'm going to use the shade clay, which is this one right here, just to put it through the crease, again, in no specific formal shape. So hopefully you can see the difference, this eye to this eye. It just looks more smooth, more clean, and that's why I wanted to take the time to do this step. I'm working on my left eye again. This one is a little bit more droopy. There's a lot more folds in this eye than my other eye, and so I figured, let me do this one so then I can try to match it with my eye that's a little less problematic in terms of folds. So, don't know which shades I want to use. I did like Dogbane. Ultraviolet was absolutely beautiful. What I like about Dogbane were the reddish undertones, and I did love that green. I just want to use at least two in my look. So I'm going to go ahead and use Dogbane. I have two clean brushes. One is a MAC 231. It looks like it's kind of a lip brush, synthetic. And then I have a Zoeva pencil brush. It has a little bit more flexibility, but it's still pointed. So that's why I wanted to work with this. I'm going to start out with a pencil brush and the shade Dogbane. I wanted to use this one because I wanted to make it a little neutral, and I'm just going right off of the applicator and picking up the product on my pencil brush, and I'm going along my lash line. I'm going to flick it outward for the wing, and then I'm going to blend inward. That is a beautiful wing. So I'm just kind of making it larger. One of the things I'm really enjoying about this as well is that as I'm laying the product on itself, it's not flaking. That's a great feature. And it's laying beautifully over the powder as well. So I'm very pleased with how that turned out. Now I'm going to use the green one, Scarab. I think this is going to be my favorite one. The purple is beautiful as well, but I love green eyeshadow. So I'm going to use the lip brush for this one, and I'm going to do the line up top and hope that it works out. So again, from the applicator to the brush, and I'm going to just I think I'm going to add a little bit of the green on top. And there we have the final shape. I'm going to take a quick break and see if I can recreate it on the other side. I finished my makeup, and before I go brush my hair or do anything else, I had to share with you, I'm just stunned. I was just telling my friend Jessica, I haven't been this excited about a makeup product since the Guerlain Meteorites highlighter palette, and this far exceeds it. I am so impressed. I'm more mature. I have very crepey, very oily, very creasy hooded eyelids, and I'm wearing a graphic liner look. The rest of the makeup details, I'll leave it linked in the description box down below as I've been doing, but basically my strategy was to keep the focus on the graphic liner and do my makeup in in as matte of a fashion as I'm capable of doing since I do have dry skin, and I just wanted to keep it very neutral to let the liquid shadow just shine. I just wanted you to be able to see this eye makeup up close. I'm gonna be filming my intro and outro, but obviously you don't have to do a look like this, but these products are super inspiring and I wanted to experiment a little bit today and I had so much fun with it. I will be right back with my final thoughts. So I've brushed my hair and here is my final look. I love my makeup today so much. I really was intrigued by these products when I saw them on Natasha Denona's YouTube channel. She makes it look so easy, but she makes everything look so easy since she is a true master of her craft. I'm just a makeup enthusiast, and so I wondered if I would be able to recreate some of the looks that she was doing on some of those models that, number one, they have a way nicer eye shape than me. They're a lot younger than me, and they're having the products applied by the creator and master artist as well. So I wondered if I could recreate it, and I have found that I was easily able to recreate it. I have never worn a look like this. Graphic liner on my crepey, creasy, oily eyelids. I think I did pretty well. I can't give you any information for how long these shadows are going to last or if they're going to dry up. I know that people sometimes say that the Stila shadows dry up for them, but I have heard Alejandra Lisette mention that she can reconstitute them with a little bit of eye drops. So this one is labeled for 6-month usage after opening. As I mentioned, you do get less product than the Stila. The applicator was a doe foot applicator and so easy to use. I opted to go in with brushes just because I wanted something a little more detailed and I wanted to share with you how they would blend. So let's talk about the blend. So you can apply them directly on your lid with a brush. They go on super smoothly. There is no fallout. There is no flaking. There is no creasing, no cracking. It just goes on smoothly like a sheet of silken metal. I love that. The dry time is a little bit fast, especially if you have applied just a thin layer of product. So if you're applying a really thin layer and you want to do a specific shape, then I do suggest working a little bit quickly so that the shadow doesn't dry down on you. However, if it does and you decide to blend out the edges by applying shadow over it or just working the brush across it, you're not going to get any fallout with that either. Like the shade didn't crease. You saw when I was really going at it with my brush, it wasn't flaking, it wasn't fading, it was like crackling a tiny little bit, but no one is going to do their eye like I was doing just to see how it would behave. So I found that you can blend shadows over it beautifully. I was able to create that other eye look as well, which I thought was beautiful. I got carried away and I actually created an official eye look, but I knew I wanted to try something like this, so that's why I took that one off and I did something else. Now with this particular eye, you saw that I put the liquid shadow on top of powders. And again, beautiful application, super easy to work with. Honestly, like I was telling my friend today, I was telling my friend Jessica, if you want to treat yourself, I fully support that. It's very rare that I get so excited about a product on a first impression, but I have tried all of them. I tried them in different ways as you saw, and I'm super excited, super thrilled. I think they're beautiful. If there's a specific shade that calls out to you, I would highly recommend you pick it up. I don't think you will regret it. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. Now, personally, I don't think that you need every single shade. My personal favorite is Scarab. As you saw, I love green eyeshadow, so Scarab is a favorite. I did find that the Ultraviolet had a unique quality amongst all the others since it was a cool tone shade. The one that was pink as well, Dragonfly, which is pink, also had a little bit of a cool tone feel to it, but because it shifted with gold, it warmed it up a little bit. So I do think that if you prefer cool tones, then Ultraviolet would be an excellent choice. I was impressed with Dogbane in the red tones that it has to it, the beautiful shift. That's the one that you see as my eyeliner on top of my lashes. This is the shade that you're seeing. It shifts beautifully and it's a more wearable shade. So they are all absolutely beautiful. I would have to say my least favorite might be Dragonfly, just because I think it's the most bold, unless you happen to really love pink eyeshadow, which I love pink eyeshadow as well, but I think that this one is the most bold out of the entire collection. As you saw in the demonstration, you can definitely use the eyeshadows with a more neutral look. Infra Nude look beautiful on the lid as well, and it gives you that added special touch as well because it is a multi-chrome, but yet it's still very wearable, very easy to use as well. I'm really really thrilled with them. I think they're just beautiful. She hit it out of the park with these. If you want them, go for it. It's rare that I make a recommendation quite that boldly, but I think that this actually merits it. And I've been playing with them for several hours now, and they're absolutely great. So I hope that you did find this little preview helpful from someone who purchased the collection herself. I think it's absolutely worth the money. Do I think you need all 5 shades? No. Pick, 1 or 2 that you like and play with them a little bit, see how you feel, and then maybe add a couple more to your collection. Obviously, you don't have to do something as bold as I did. You can make it a more wearable look. They're just very versatile and fun to work with. Those are all my thoughts on the eyeshadows. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. If you like the demonstration style that I've been using, where I just sit down and I play with the products, try to learn how to use them a little bit, especially when it's a formula that is a little unique, a little something different in my collection. So I just wanted to learn a little bit and share my experience with you. If you did find it helpful, don't forget that thumbs up. I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. I would love to reach 10,000 subscribers sometime soon, and if you'd like to help me do so, subscribing is a really great way, as well as sharing my videos, giving it a like, or leaving me a nice comment. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're doing really well, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon on my next one. Bye-bye.